Hey, welcome to episode 38 of the Blade Job Show. Today we talk about Starrcast, Starrcade, Star Wars, Starrcraft, Starquest. Is it Starquest a thing?
I don't think so. Probably. It's probably like a
Quest?
B movie in like the
Galaxy
70s.
Quest. We talk about
Home Improvement.
we talk about Tim the Toolman Taylor.
His abusive relationship with Al Borland.
My love of Binford Tools.
Yep.
Who doesn't?
Binford Tools probably does that.
The Blade Job.
We talk about Starrcast. We do some complaining about All In. We talk about Joey Ryan and Snooki and their weird love triangle. And we also talk about
Other stuff.
Commentary feed. Pretty good episode. It went by quick.
It did.
I dug it.
Enjoy. Hey everybody out there in Blade Job listening land. John's back.
Yeah, I am.
This is
episode 38.
Hot Pocket for my tummy.
Hot pocket for my tummy.
This is the start of the episode. I'm
It
just
is.
doing it.
Yeah, now, follow Twitter at The Blade Job Show. Follow me at,
Oh, cool. The robot voice.
yeah,
again.
no, right? At Blade Job JRT. Hey, assholes, where are you?
I am High Voltage Scott Perkins at High Voltage 1987.
That's his pyro, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's lightning bolts.
I am not high John Olin at John_Olin.
Why? Why don't you...
You want to get high?
Won't get high.
We can do that after.
We should do it before.
I'm gonna watch a football game after.
Your football game. Anyways,
It's on at 1, right?
Yeah.
important business first.
Texans at Patriots.
Important business first.
That is important. It's opening
Fuck that.
day, man.
Is this actual football or is it still preseason shit?
No,
This
it's
is
actual
the
football.
first
All right,
actual
whatever.
football.
Who cares? I don't give a shit.
Tom Brady's so hunky.
They don't use Nerf balls anymore.
Yeah.
It's just
So,
straight real footballs.
We have a complaint.
I have a lot of complaints, but complain your complaint
We have
first.
a complaint from a listener.
Who? I'll fight him.
So
I'm just
I
kidding,
don't want
That trip
to
might be a
call
little
anyone out. I'm not going to call anyone out by name. Like I really don't want to. Let's call them Graham Bagshaw.
Okay.
Okay,
That's a good.
That's what
Sounds
we're
like
gonna
a
call
made-up
them.
name.
Okay. Yeah. No. Right. It's no way it's real. So this person.
Sounds like a pasty.
Is that a Lord of the Rings character?
It might be. This person thinks that
an honor.
I was too positive last week.
Yeah, you were pretty happy about shit.
Yeah, like 1 year. What the fuck's there to be excited about? So
We went on about that for like a half an hour.
it's true. And then we did All In for
then we
like
did
an
All In
hour
for
and
another
15
hour,
minutes.
yeah.
So I'm gonna try my hardest not to be positive today.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say to the traitor
Yeah.
of the English crown,
Yeah.
who not only moved to the colonies, but he moved to Virginia, the place where the colonies set up shop to say "fuck you, England."
No, that was here.
No, but the government, like CIA in Virginia. Oh.
Yeah. Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the reason the South had all the money, the South had all the money, and the rest of the states were like, hey, give us some money, we'll put the capital down there. That's how that
Either
went
way,
down.
you want me to be fucking negative, I'm gonna be fucking negative.
Yeah.
And you're gonna deal with it.
If there wasn't
and
too much coffee on this table, I'd flip it over right fucking now.
that's what I say.
Inexpensive
That
microphones.
would be so expensive.
Yeah, I'm not
So-
going to do that. Don't worry, trash can.
So
I'm not actually.
our bad, my bad for, having a good day and shit. I'm just gonna be angry. Yeah, Scott's
I threw
throwing
a
things
tripod.
now. We're so mad. So, fuck it. Whatever. You want me to be negative? We're gonna talk about fucking All In. All right. John was there. John can talk about fucking All In.
I will talk about all of
Yeah,
it.
he got all in. Every single one, both inches.
All of
in.
it. I sat in every seat. I used every urinal.
He did. It took him 18 hours to wait in line.
Just
Seriously,
for
though.
one.
John was in Chicago for All In. He's our man on the scene of some shit. All In. Go.
Oh, we're just doing it now.
Just
Sweet.
do it.
Let's
We're just
do
going into it.
Let's do it.
How was it?
All out, all in.
Did you
It was
go?
Awesome.
Did you
It
see
was
wrestling?
awesome. I saw
No,
wrestling.
no wrestling.
It was like
there was a dog there. The dog was dope.
from the moment you got into Chicago, it just felt different. I mean, I've also fair
Because
warning.
you got robbed?
That's never happened to me, but someone was talking about the first time they got mugged, and then that's all I thought about all weekend.
Yeah, Chicago.
Chicago.
Kind of
Yeah.
dumb.
You
Yeah,
gotta
no.
watch out for CM Punk.
The nice part
He
was
might rob you and peg you.
we stayed at a hotel that was 5 minutes from Starrcast and 15 minutes from the venue, so we literally just kept bouncing around.
That's pretty cool.
And I had the comfort of my own car, so I really can't
Yeah.
complain. I'll never do that 16-hour drive again unless All In 2 happens to be in Chicago, but you know.
Which I hope it doesn't.
Boston.
Worcester Centrum Center.
That
I
be
still think,
amazing.
yeah, Centrum.
They
Central
have the
League
stuff
Eagles.
for it now, and they're going to have more hotels once the
I don't give a shit
Fox
about
Sox are there.
hotels. I live in
That's
Auburn.
in like 2 or 3 years. Yeah.
2020.
I could walk there.
Fuck hotels, yeah.
Do it in Worcester. And plus, the convention center's attached to the goddamn arena.
That's
Yeah.
true,
Like,
kid.
boom.
Which would be a much better convention
Than a
center
fucking
than
hotel.
what we had. So basically, Starrcast was right up front. I'm just going to say thank you very much for doing Starrcast. I know you're probably never going to listen to this, but thank you for
No,
doing
no,
it.
the Bucks listen all the time.
Yeah, they
Bucks
do,
are our biggest fan.
Yeah, #1 subscribers.
Yeah, just the two of them combined.
Two of them.
Like,
Wait, which one's the cuter buck? It's got to be Matt, right?
Is he the one with the fucking mutton chops?
Yeah, but you just shaved him
I
off.
get confused sometimes. Yeah, black hair, not the brown hair.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, I know.
cool.
Yeah, Matt.
I'm glad we're all on the
absolutely.
same page.
Nick's Luigi, according to being the elite.
That's accurate.
That's true.
I still like them both though. They do very good wrestling.
Yeah, they have very good tag teams.
But that's too positive. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Starrcast was great. I mean, it was
Fuck, I forgot to start the timer. Go ahead. Yeah,
it
you're
was
good.
awesome that
because
like
I just started talking.
the Hyatt reached out and like wanted to do it, whatever. But it was an L-shaped hotel that was just like hallways and then conference rooms. So the hallways were not big enough for the amount of people that they had there.
And wrestling fans tend to be on the Husker
Oh yeah,
side.
yeah.
To me, like seeing the pictures, to me it looked like WrestleCon where like not where the big names are, but where the podcast get stuff, where they get shoved in a corridor somewhere. That's what it looked like. But you had like DDP and Eric Bischoff instead of like no offense to anyone involved, but instead of like us or like super kicking it. You know, it's
Right,
like
right.
you know, obviously if we were at WrestleCon, we would be like, oh, the blade job, yeah, you're in the corner next to the bathroom. Actually, that'd be a good
That
spot.
would be.
Everyone goes to
It
the
would be.
bathroom and he's like, hey guys, we're the blade job. Want to play
Everybody poops.
Everybody poops except for you.
And actually,
No, yeah.
Podcast Row had more room than the room that they gave the wrestlers.
That's funny.
Like, so when you first came in, it was like a glass wall, and that's where all Podcast Row was, right there next to the doors.
Yeah.
They had a live stage that they were like rotating podcasts out of on the left, and then the conference centers are where they did the big name meet and greets. So like
Yeah.
DDP, the Bucks were in there, Cody was in there, Omega, and
Did they feel the bang?
they did feel the bang.
Nice.
He was one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Oh, I've never heard anyone say
Yeah,
anything
he
negative.
legitimately
Like
is-
I've heard DDP in like the late '80s, early '90s was kind of an asshole, but I've never heard anyone say he's like a bad person.
I also went to the after party, and he was just hanging out with people, like not drinking, just hanging out, talking.
well,
to
yeah,
people.
his body is a temple.
Yeah. And downstate, not that bad live.
They
They
do.
They did Miz's theme.
Yeah.
They did Dolph Ziggler's theme. They do
okay.
Cody's new theme.
Yeah.
But they were not bad. They played the after party.
Yeah.
But then, so when you walked straight, the bar was right there, and then that's the row where there was more lines for people waiting for meet and greets, you trying to get through, and tables with wrestlers like Jeff Jarrett, Animal, BWO was there.
Lap
What a
nuts.
BWO.
But they were like walking
Big
around.
Stevie Cool.
Yeah, it was cool, and it was a great time, and it was cool that like the menu was all in themed
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But it was definitely, they didn't anticipate that many people, I think.
No. They definitely had to have anticipated that many people. It was still poorly planned.
Yes.
It's so I don't know who put on Starrcast. Obviously, all
Conrad Thompson.
yeah,
He did.
obviously, all in the show. Let's just call it what it is. Ring of Honor pretty much took the reins and said, "We know how to set up a live wrestling show. Let
Correct.
us do that."
Correct.
So I know Conrad was involved in Starrcast,
Yeah.
but I don't know what company he used to set it up. But it's sounding like he they maybe cut corners for the actual event planning company, because how many tickets they knew, because even Starrcast was sold out really quickly.
Right.
So they knew what kind of people were. They had plenty of time to move venues if they had to.
Right.
But they didn't, because it actually, there's been a long, for the past couple of months, there's been a couple events held by like YouTubers, like people who don't know how to run a convention, and they try to run a convention,
We
and
should
it's
run a
a
convention.
fucking shit show. And I feel like that's what happened with Starrcast. I'm not saying it was like a shit show. It's like not like people were stuck outside. It's not like people were getting heat stroke because they couldn't get in the door and stuff like that. But it sounds like they were just like, oh yeah, this should be enough space.
Right.
No.
And by
Definitely
the
run a
second day,
convention.
you
God,
knew. By the second
Like
day,
a
you knew where you
40-person.
needed to be and where things needed to go and how much time it was going to
Well,
take you
when
to
you
get in
were
between.
when you were texting me, you were saying there was no signs, there was no like, hey,
Right.
The meet and greet with Eric Bischoff is at 2 p.m. till 4 p.m. and it's over here, stuff like that.
And that's exactly who I was waiting for.
Yeah.
And I ended up waiting for Firing Squad first. And then I was tweeting Bischoff, and Bischoff responded back to me and was like, they're moving me to this room. So when I got into the room, he was actually in the same room as Firing Squad, but he didn't have a line because they had one door for this one room, and it was everybody for Firing Squad. So he had to wait for people to funnel in that had him. He just looked miserable, which I do not blame him. He was literally just standing there. And then I accidentally told him that I loved him.
It's
so that
true.
was cool.
I love
And this is
you.
why Eric Bischoff will never be on our show.
I just said to him, like, it was really quick because they were trying to move people in and out. That was one thing I did not like. Like, if I paid that kind of money, give me 2 seconds. And so I was like, hey, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I love. And then the guy picked up the camera to take the picture, and I just froze. And I was like, I love you. And I meant to say I love WCW or anything like that. And then it was super awkward. And I wasn't going to mention the podcast because I know that would have lent to Blue Chew, which sponsored the event. It was weird that Male Enhancement sponsored the entire Starrcast convention.
Listen,
No.
if they're willing to give money,
Have you met wrestling fans?
Like, all the wristbands didn't say Starrcast. They said Blue Chew.
Listen, sometimes wieners need to be more wienery.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then, so there was an area downstairs where wrestlers like Jordan Grace, Brutus the Barber was down there.
Oh, yay.
But then it
Brutus
was
the
just like
fucking
a
Barber Beefcake.
catch-all of merchandise and where they were doing the tattoos and stuff. So, like, PWTs was down there. Lapel Yeah was down there. They had some random chiropractor down there doing, like, spine checks.
Well, it's because every wrestler needed it.
Right, but you don't need to sell me on it literally every time I walk by you.
Yes, you do.
Hey, kid, you got scoliosis?
Yeah.
Come here.
He's like, you want to get your spine checked? I was like, I will come back, I promise. And then
No.
I accidentally walked by him again, and he's like, hey, and I'm like, I'll be back, I promise. And then I never saw him again.
So you're a promise breaker, you lying liar.
Yep. The things to get me out of certain locations. Yeah. It was really cool. Like the positive parts, it was cool that like wrestlers were just hanging out. Like after I saw Eric Bischoff, I was sitting at the bar, and Eric Bischoff was just sitting across the bar drinking a Coors Light. Like X-Pac was just taking his dog everywhere, and then he was there selling his own merch like right out front. It was kind of cool.
It's kind of funny because like you talk about, All In, and we've all been to indie shows, we've all been to WWE shows, we've all been to like bigger wrestling shows, smaller wrestling shows, and medium-sized wrestling shows, and like, you're talking like, oh, it's really cool, like, A was hanging out and B was hanging out, but we're all also used to Beyond, where there are no merch tables, people just hang out.
Right.
Like you can sit there at any given Beyond show and have a full conversation with a top star like Joey Ryan or
With Ricky Shane Page while
Ricky
his
Shane.
girlfriend pulls thumbtacks out of
Yeah. Like I bumped into who did I bump? Like physically bumped into someone in the bathroom. Like, oh, it was DJ Z. Like he was just like he was coming out of the bathroom, and I was like, oh shit, sorry man. He's like, oh, no problem. And
I bumped into
I talked to him-
Tremont, and it was weird.
I talked to DJZ for like half an hour when he was there last time.
yeah,
Do you know that he created the Ring of Honor logo when he was like 15?
No.
That apparently was him,
that's interesting.
or at least that's what he told me.
Wait, how old is he? He seems like
He's only
about
gonna be
15.
like 30.
Yeah, I think he's in his 30s.
Really?
He's also been wrestling for a long
He
time.
DJ'd the after party for All In.
Did he wear this cool outfit?
He
like
did
gloves
not
and
wear the
shit?
cool outfit. He knew what he was doing. I give him a hard time, but he was playing like it felt like a senior prom in there. It was like balloons and like white tablecloths and stuff, and he was playing like 80s music and the occasional like, hey, here's CM Punk's theme. But he kept the air horn down to a minimum. Yeah, exactly.
That was my favorite part of his match when he was in Beyond.
Yeah, it's a cool spot in the match.
DJ. Meh, 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 meh.
Yeah, yeah. But it's cool that he's actually a DJ too.
That's awesome.
He's I still remember when he debuted for TNA as Zima Ion, and it was just like, who the fuck is this guy? And then he starts moving in the ring, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Because I think the first match I saw him was, oh god, I forget the guy's name. He was he had like a Middle Eastern sounding name or an Indian sounding name in TNA, and he was just this fucking nuts ass cruiserweight, like just all over the place. I'm blanking on his name, but him and DJZ had a match, and I remember just going, shit.
The autocorrect in my brain just went to nutsack cruiserweight.
Nutsack cruiserweight.
Nutsack cruiserweight.
All right, so all in Starrcast. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
I only went to 2 of the events that they had at Starrcast because, like, you were really in and out of there a lot. And they overbooked things. Oh, no, I went to 3. Sorry, I went to 3 things. Which was kind of made sense, like, when they had, like, the all-out pre-party. Like, you knew that they were doing things to make sure that people were not all in the same location at the same time.
Yeah.
You mean Flips All Out?
Flips All Out, which I bought tickets to and did not go to.
Because he was wrestling.
Right. No, he was there. He was at the pre-party, but it was outside the venue.
Yeah.
But I ended up going. I did the NWO meet and greet, and then I stayed for the NWO podcast, which was supposed to be X-Pac, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall all just talking about the NWO. So X-Pac gets out there, and he's got a bunch of notes that they had given him, and it was basically like a rundown bullet list of like every day that something happened in the NWO, which was overwhelming. And he was like, usually I just sit by the seat of my pants. They wanted to do it this way. There was supposed to be somebody to help me, but no one's there.
It's also funny because, you know, X-Pac is the only member of the quote-unquote NWO who was never really in the NWO.
Right.
He was in the WWE version that lasted for like 6 weeks and sucked.
He was in the
WCW version. He was just like the 6th
Yeah,
guy.
but he was
He was
like
the 4th guy.
No, the 4th guy was Big Show.
Yeah.
Giant.
Yeah, and how many matches did fucking 6 like have that mean anything in
0.
WCW?
Right.
Less
How many
than
times
6.
was he even, like, if they were doing an NWO promo, how many times was X-Pac actually not behind the 7-foot people standing in the background?
Right.
X-Pac was not in the
Hey guys, I'm
NWO.
only 5'10".
X-Pac was a fucking extra.
And he talks about his contract a lot, about how, like, when WWE knew he wanted to go somewhere else, they were, like, dragging their feet on letting him go and everything. But the worst thing that possibly could have happened for that podcast is Neil Pruitt was there and just decided he was going to help them and be like the moderator, but it just turned into him telling stories or asking random questions that no one wanted to know about. Or he'd be like, hey, so Dallas, Texas, 1995. What do you remember about that night? Like,
well, I was drinking a lot
Yeah.
that day.
Kevin Nash wanted nothing to do with it, which is the type of Kevin Nash that you absolutely want.
Yeah.
Like him just not giving a shit.
Last time
Hammering goldfish bowls of wine.
He told a story about how he hit a prairie dog. Like, he was driving the truck and hit a prairie dog, and everybody was mad at him because they thought he saw it. And he's like, I can't see it. I'm too tall. I couldn't see over the thing. And I was like, I love that that's the story you decided
The last
to tell.
time I saw Kevin Nash live, he was visibly intoxicated. He shuffled to the ring, got in the ring, cut the most rambling promo I've ever heard, claimed that he shook everyone's hand backstage and he loves meeting the young guys, only for like 2 weeks later to have a conversation with Josh Briggs about how Nash wanted nothing to do with anyone backstage and just left.
Which doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Kevin Nash as a wrestler, as a performer.
Yeah.
I've always been a Kevin Nash fan. I've only met him once, and honestly, he was pretty pleasant. He was a nice guy. Maybe he was just having a good day. Maybe some days, more often than not, he has a bad day. I don't know. But he was pretty chill, and he didn't pull the whole, because I've noticed a lot of pictures with him. Like, he doesn't make physical contact with people. He just kind of throws up the too sweet and moves on. But, like, he was like he sat me down, like, put his arm over me and stuff like that. Like, he was a nice dude to me. But I've heard more stories than not that he's just kind of an asshole. He just doesn't give a shit.
He was that way too when I did the meet and greet. He like was the only one that like asked me what my name was, made eye contact, shook my hand twice.
Oh, yeah, so I mean, genuinely, he
yeah.
seems like he just doesn't like doing these promotional pieces. It seems
Right.
like he doesn't mind meeting fans and doing autographs and stuff, but he hates like cutting promos and fucking doing podcasts and shit like that. He's just like, no,
Yeah.
Man, he's also
Not that the other two weren't really nice.
he's the old breed, you know. He's
Yeah.
like, what is this shit? Like, I'm a wrestler.
Yeah.
Like in his mind, he's supposed to be in kayfabe still all the time.
Right.
Like I'm assuming
Well,
that
he's
it's,
the one who broke down the fourth wall, hugging all up on Shawn Michaels.
And then
no. I blame Shawn Michaels for it. He's the only one who didn't get punished.
because he had the
'cause
back
was
injury.
champion.
He had the back injury.
No, X-Pac didn't get punished because X-Pac was
He wasn't there.
like
he was
in rehab or
detox,
something. Yeah.
Yep. He actually said that.
And
He said that's why. Yeah.
Triple H got a job to the Warrior.
Yeah. But
That's
he did
okay.
it like a champ.
I think it worked out well for Triple H. He's
Nah.
doing quite all right for
Nah,
himself.
his life's pretty shitty right now. He's got this hot wife, and he's running this huge company. He's got a lot of responsibility. It doesn't sound very good.
Hot is subjective.
No, I think she's
No,
pretty
she's
hot.
pretty hot. Especially,
I
like...
mean, she looks like a McMahon, though, so I mean, there's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, what about, like, you know,
Let's be
98,
honest.
99 stuff? I mean,
Oh,
come
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Let's
no,
be
no.
honest. Shane McMahon is the best looking McMahon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he aged really great.
He
Yeah.
aged great.
I want to age that well.
Yeah, you're not
I think
gonna.
you got to move to China and then like open up a cable company, right? Is that how?
No, it was Chinese YouTube. That's what it was. It was like a Chinese YouTube knockoff.
And he's like Rory McIlroy's agent or something like that.
Is he really?
Yeah. Dude,
Yep.
when McIlroy won the U.S. Open by like 30 strokes, I'm like, is that fucking Shane McMahon in the crowd? I was like, that's wild. And then he won the U.S. Open, and Shane McMahon like runs out onto the green. It's like, oh my god, that is Shane McMahon. Holy
That's
shit.
awesome.
My God, it's Shane McMahon.
Did he do the backward shuffle?
Yeah. It's like fell off a fucking TV tower.
The one thing I want to complain about the most about Starrcast, they
Yeah,
talked
get
about
real
it,
negative. Get real negative.
Yeah.
They talked about it the most was the roast of Bruce Pritchard. Like every commercial you heard for Starrcast, they're like, "This is going to be the best event. This is going to be the best." I don't even really know that much about Bruce Pritchard. I don't really care for his podcast.
He had a red face.
Yeah. Yep. And so like, but I'm like, I'm gonna go and have a good time. So they had a panel of comedians, which weren't up on the stage. They brought them out one at a time, and then they had a panel of old wrestling
Were they known comedians, or were they like
Ron-
here's Carlton Fisk? I don't know.
Ron Funches
That's a baseball
and
player.
Mike Lawrence are two of my favorite comedians, and they were both there. Other guys I did not know.
Yeah.
Only one of them ended up being really good. The other two had a couple good jokes.
Yeah.
But, so up on the stage that were old school wrestlers or wrestling management, whatever, it was Bruce, Jeff Jarrett, Medusa,
Slap nuts.
Eric Bischoff, Jerry and Pat Patterson, and Brutus the Barber, who looked like he did not want to be there the entire time.
Brutus the Barber never looked like he wanted to be there. Like
Every
Vince
time
made him
someone,
carry on a pair of hedge clippers.
he just
for his
happened to
career.
be like boys with Hogan, and Hogan was just like, "Hey kid, you want to come to work with me?"
he said
today?"
the reason that he had the Brutus the Barber was because Pat's boyfriend at the time was a hairdresser.
Pat Patterson's boyfriend.
Yeah, and Pat didn't deny it. Pat just like stood there. But
He probably wasn't aware what was going on. The dude's like 90.
Yeah, he's the first Intercontinental
none of them
champion. You give him
knew
respect.
that they had to write their own material. So like Bischoff got up there and like openly stated, I thought someone was going to give me material and no one gave me anything. I'm not a funny guy. So he just told a story about how he almost slept with Medusa once, like while Medusa was on stage. So that was cool and awkward. Pat Patterson, during the time he and Jerry were supposed to be up there talking, went to the bathroom and left Jerry up there to tell a 15-minute story about Vince McMahon farting, and then came back. So they would do like, they shouldn't have let the wrestlers talk. Or if they did, they should have wrote them a couple jokes.
I
and then
feel
let
the
them
same
go.
way about current WWE product with Roman Reigns. Don't let the wrestlers talk. Is
That's
that
pretty
negative
accurate.
enough for you, fucking Graham?
No, it's pretty accurate.
Fucking limey
Didn't-
Brit.
Didn't they like put the Shield back together? So
Dude,
now
no,
Roman
moving
doesn't
on,
have
moving
to
on,
talk?
moving
I don't know,
on.
never mind.
I don't
Oh,
care.
no, we are venting about that. There's
No,
one thing
no,
on Raw I want to vent about.
no Raw. I don't give a shit. I'm
I
so
want to talk
mad
about
right
Kevin
now.
Owens for like 5 minutes.
Oh, the fact that he was fired and came back a week later.
And was the first one out there attacking the Shield? What the hell is going on?
That
What are
is-
you doing with him?
Leave it
don't
alone.
know.
Leave
They
it
don't
alone.
Oh my god.
Too negative. Too negative.
But yeah, so the comedians were really good. Mike Lawrence obviously is one of my favorites. He's a diehard wrestling fan.
See, like, I hate when they bring on roast when they just like bring somebody and they're like, I don't
Yeah.
really know you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met you once in 1987.
Yeah.
You seemed pretty fat. I don't know.
Also, I don't know if Brutus is clean or not, but he spent his entire time up there talking, like sniffling, like he had just done a line, and then came up.
Were his teeth clacking together?
I didn't hear that. Probably.
That's how you know someone's on cocaine.
Yeah, he told the story about how he got the name,
Dr.
and I think that's it. And then he sat down.
Brutus the Barber has never done anything for me. Like, I don't know.
The best was that I listened to 83 Weeks, and Bischoff has gone off on him. Like, he didn't want to hire him. He hired him only because Hulk Hogan wanted him.
Yeah.
Like, he thought he was a waste of space.
That's how he got his jobs in wrestling.
Yeah.
He was just friends with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. There was only one comment about Hogan sleeping with his wife, too. Lots of Hogan saying the N-word jokes. And lots of Conrad is fat jokes. Oh, also what happened during the roast. For some reason, they had Jerry the King Lawler come down from his hotel room, came down, made a joke about how he didn't want to sit out there because he didn't want people to talk about how he only dates young women, told some other joke, and then left. And then every comedian got up there and roasted Jerry the King without him being there.
It's not really a roast if they're not there. It's just talking shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean
he
a
put
roast
himself
is
out
just talking shit.
Yeah, but you're talking shit to the person.
Yeah.
Right.
This is just rude.
Jerry Lawler is a crazy old man.
Well,
I
yeah.
love him.
So, essentially, what
Puppies.
in closing for Starrcast,
This is a fucking
I would definitely
third
do it
grade
again.
fucking science report. In conclusion,
In conclusion, I would definitely do it again. I probably wouldn't buy meet and greets again because they were like, I mean, I
it sounds
It
like you
was
could have
cool.
wandered up to a lot of these people and just took a selfie with them. And
yes,
no problem.
except for the big name ones. But at the same time, you were there for 2 seconds. They barely wanted to talk to you. I talked to Cody for like 10 seconds. Told him that I was at the Ring of Honor show. Brandy was the only one that seemed like she cared. Cody was like just trying to move things along.
Yeah.
Brandy's only recently famous though.
Right.
Cody's been famous for a long time.
Yeah.
Brandy, like,
She's really pretty.
tell me about her WWE career.
She was really pretty.
She did not voiceover. She did commentary, right, or whatever they call it.
Announcing?
I always get those two confused.
Like,
Yeah,
you can't.
she is good in the ring.
No, she is, but she didn't have a career in WWE. She doesn't have the name. You know, she's recently reaching that famous part. I think she is really good in the ring. I have been pleasantly surprised by how talented she is.
I like that she seems to have that fire to want to prove people wrong.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna do what she wants to do.
She's like, I
and-
didn't marry Cody to get a spot.
Exactly.
I married Cody because I love Cody.
Exactly.
You know, she didn't give a shit who he was.
Yeah.
You know, which is cool. And Cody, like, obviously he jokes about his really hot wife most of the time, but genuinely, like, you know, he doesn't give a shit what she looks like. He's
Right.
like, no, this chick is like, this is my jam, yo.
You know who was, aside from David Arquette, obviously, you know who's the nicest person I talked to all weekend?
Who?
Was Tama Tonga.
Yeah?
All smiles.
That's odd.
He kept too sweeting, like asked your
Yeah,
name,
but you
was
fucked
making
up.
small conversation.
You did it up. You didn't do it down.
I didn't do it down.
Yeah,
No,
so you're gonna get fucking targeted now.
it's fine. That's fine.
Like, Tonga's gonna come out of that. That's why the door's closed right now. We have a special guest for you.
He's so mad.
What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
I'm implying that Tama Tonga's in the bathroom about to come out and beat the shit out of John.
Sorry, my headphones were really loud and I couldn't really pay attention to anything.
Tonga Loa comments in my DDP shirt. I was excited about that.
Nice.
But yeah, so Starrcast was good. All In was amazing. Like the whole area of being in there.
alright.
I've never been to a Mania, so I can't compare it. But what I can say is it just felt like you had goosebumps the entire time. Like I was proud of everybody that was there. I was excited for it. Every time I saw something new, like the entrance ramp or whatever, I was like, this is awesome. Like I'm
Yeah.
so glad that I got to be a part of this. And I mean, the merch lines were crazy long. They just had two that were on either end of the arena. And
The Sears
it was like
Center's
they
not
just-
big either.
No, and it's not like, I mean, I know this isn't going to respond well with everybody, but the Centrum, I feel like, has a good way of getting everybody in and out of the arena.
No,
Yeah.
because there's like 18 exits.
Exactly. From the ramp up, we were up in the balcony area.
Yeah.
Which was, I mean, the whole place is tiny. Like you
Yeah.
saw the pictures, you know how close I basically was. But there was only two exits out of the up top. So you're like funneling everybody down these stairwells and having to make them all go around, like basically to the horseshoe end of the arena. There's probably technically four, but because the entrance was there, those two were closed off on the other side.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It was really tiny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. And it was cool to see like I was checking Twitter like in between matches and like seeing people's reactions that were watching it because I was curious like how it was being represented. And I know you said they were having like
There was a couple
Honor Club
technical
was a
difficulties.
and when I
iffy
watched
at times.
NJPW, they cut the blackout part where you said they showed the Ring of Honor logo. It wasn't as long as you said, but I wonder if they just edited it and like sped it up.
Yeah, directly in like I'd say in the first 5-10 minutes of the NWA World Heavyweight Championship match, they just had the spinning ROH logo for like 30 seconds, and I'm sitting there like you're just like
I don't think it was that long on replay.
They probably cut it down.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. It was just a quick black. They were outside the ring, and you never didn't hear anything, and then it just went black, and then they must have just put audio over it.
Yeah.
But it was cool seeing things like when spoiler alert, when Jericho comes out, and like it took so long for that because as soon as the lights went out, I saw him running from the other side of the Titantron.
Yeah.
So they're literally running him from the other side to make him come around to the side that Penta came. I don't know if they just like put him in the wrong spot when they were running out or if that was planned the whole time. But even watching the replay, I'm like, man, this is a long time.
So obviously you were sitting in the balcony. This is my question. On television, we could once he stood up, we could tell who it was.
Right.
Could you tell from your vantage who it was?
As soon as the lights came back on, I saw the tattoos.
Okay, so it was because.
But that place erupted when they hit the code breaker.
Well, that's the thing is
Yeah.
I think a lot of people weren't sure until the code breaker.
And in fairness, I was on that side that he was laying on. And I was 3 rows up on the balcony. So, like, I could see right there.
Yeah. So because I can tell a lot of like you could hear the crowd, and obviously, you know, if you're traditionally an indie Ring of Honor, you know, New Japan fan, you might not be familiar with his new tattoos because for most of his career he didn't have any tattoos.
Right.
So you could be like, who the fuck is it? Obviously, as you know, massive Jericho mark. As soon as I saw the tattoo, I knew exactly who it was.
Yeah.
But I liked the reaction that the codebreaker got from the crowd because that's when everyone knew who it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I think that Jericho attacking Omega was to me the highlight of the night just because it was surprising enough. Like, you know, and I like the spot. I like the spot of someone dressed up as a different wrestler. I like the spot of I think I brought it up.
Jericho and Omega
Just in general, yeah. I brought it up last week. SummerSlam 2011, 2012, something like that. Punk versus Jeff Hardy, TLC, where Hardy's laying on the mat and Punk's holding the belt up over him. The lights go out, the lights come back on, and Undertaker's underneath him. And, like, I love that spot. I love the spot of just, like, lights go out, lights come back on, someone different is there, and the other person's like, what's going on, guys? Oh, shit, I'm going to get chokeslammed.
But where did Jeff Hardy go?
Penta went under the ring.
Yeah.
Because as soon as the match ended, he came out of the ring and ran away. Yeah. You can also, in the replay, knowing what's going to happen, you can see Kenny tell him to go. Like, telling him to start rolling over.
Yeah, roll over. Penta.
I like it because everybody, I mean, at least I did, expected it to be Tama. Because Tama was already there for Starrcast. It was building the whole story. I'm like, they're going to move that story along.
Yeah.
And I like that it wasn't him. It was Jericho. It was
I feel like they purposely, other than Hangman and Joey Ryan, they purposely didn't move forward any Bullet Club storylines.
Right.
Well, the Hangman and Joey Ryan, like, it was kind of obvious that was the
surprise.
If you watched BTE, you knew it was going to happen.
That's where it was all gonna.
You know, but other than that, like, they didn't move any of the, you know, OGBC stuff forward.
Right.
They didn't move, you know, they moved, you know, Kenny and Jericho forward, but that was already kind of a foregone conclusion at this point that...
And it's promoting the cruise.
Yeah, you know, so I mean, like, they did a good job of not... They did a really good job of not making All In all about them.
Mm-hmm.
They, you know, and I thought that was pretty respectful of them. Even Cody taking, like, the mid-card slot for the title match, like, that easily could have been the main event and got taking the show off the air, but
I'm fucking glad that
Yeah.
wasn't.
I love Cody so much. I'm so biased in this, but I love that he wanted to be nowhere near the main event.
Yeah.
Like, he knew it. This is your show, too.
Like the third match or something like that? Third or fourth?
Third or fourth, yeah.
Fourth, yeah. Yeah, because it was MJF, Amel, the women's match, and then him.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the Stephen Amell.
which
Daniels.
was, I love that
good.
elbow drop
Wow.
spot.
Oh, my God.
My favorite part about it is that he actually hits the center of the table with his elbow.
Yeah, he actually elbow drops. He doesn't
Right.
back bump it. He doesn't.
Or
Yeah.
even like so basically what you're saying is if Daniels didn't bait him in moved, he would have hit him square in the chest.
Yeah.
As opposed to what you normally do, which is like lay over them.
Yeah.
Like it just made it look so much more real.
Yeah.
Oh, it did.
You know he was going for the kill shot.
Especially because that is even for a trained professional, that's a dangerous spot.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have WWE mats on the side that are fucking 2.5 inches thick. They had athletic mats.
Right. And it wasn't the type of table where they took all the metal off.
Yeah.
And he wasn't laying on it. You had him laying on it, and then you saw the metal all around him.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I've actually noticed that WWE has reverted back to using regular tables again with the
metal going around.
I think the reason is because 90% of WWE spots now have someone laying on the table, and
Yeah.
if you take off that metal, the table just breaks.
Also
Yeah.
because I'm sure part of it has to do with the fact that New Japan's tables look like they're solid steel.
They look like benches.
Yeah. They're huge.
Sorry, Japanese table is my favorite part about Botchamania.
Japanese tables are just terrifying.
The chairs are terrifying too because they have just metal fucking bars all
Yeah.
over them.
Talking about the Cody match too with the blade job. Like
Hey,
Hey.
you liked my tweet.
Yeah.
In the arena, it didn't seem as odd as it did when he came out from underneath the table and he wasn't bleeding and then went back under the table and was bleeding again. You didn't really notice that. Like,
Yeah.
in the moment, I was like, oh, maybe it just wasn't that bloody yet. Like, maybe I knew that's what he was doing, but I also couldn't see that he was under the table.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of Cody's matches post WWE, and most of the time, if he's bleeding, it's the hard way. Like, he gets hit.
Like his lip.
Yeah.
So,
So-
Ring of Honor.
or
yeah.
when he split his eyebrow open in New Japan.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm hard pressed to think of the last time I saw him actually blade, because he didn't do it in WWE.
No. And he had 3 big scratches on his forehead when I met him.
So
in
he
that
was
set.
so he went,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
Come
And I think
on.
that's why DDP went over to him, looked at him, went, nope, do it again. Like, I think that's what it
you
was.
could see Hebner doing it too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was hard to tell because I was kind of like, I was more like concerned because they used the fucking X. Don't use the
Yeah.
goddamn X in a fuck.
It didn't bother me in the moment there.
No, that to me that is the most disrespectful thing to wrestling
That's
fans.
like calling 911 for a
Okay,
storyline.
but
Like, I
if
don't
they
know.
don't do it, you know that nothing's really wrong. And how quickly DDP came out after they did the X, you know that there was nothing wrong at that point because it wasn't medical. It was DDP half-ass jogging off the ramp.
Yeah, I still don't agree with it because that takes the breath out of the room. It's if you're a smart wrestling fan, you know the X means there's a serious issue. You know someone is hurt. They're legitimately hurt. Having the X thrown up is the last thing you ever want to see in a professional wrestling
They had
match.
to have known that every single person that actually watches wrestling and cares about it is in this conversation that we are having right now.
Yeah.
Like, they did it on purpose.
But I still think that was the worst part of that show, and to me, it is an unforgivable sin. Like,
No, the worst part of the show was how fucking long it took Rey Mysterio to come out.
well, yeah.
I mean, we had to cut that whole match, and I'm not like that was like 3 minutes of Rey Mysterio's song with no one coming out.
You know what I like about Rey Mysterio's
He was
outfit?
napping.
He was Wolverine, and Wolverine is like
Schnickety
5'1".
Yeah,
I like it. Instead, they get Hugh Jackman, who's like 6'2". to
Yeah,
play
but
Wolverine.
he's sexy
is-
as shit.
He is sexy as
Yeah.
shit.
No, like,
cried during Logan.
oh,
Not
who
even
didn't?
lying.
If
Yeah.
you didn't, you're a bad person.
Also, I bought it's one of the only Blu-rays I bought like recently. The noir version of that movie is so freaking good. They did the whole movie in black and white, and it's amazing.
They recut the
Yeah.
lighting too to actually make it more like the fuck. I'm blanking on a
Metal.
very simple word. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Why not?
It's so good. Highly recommend it. Oh shit! I gotta bring you DDP Yoga.
Oh, yeah,
Fuck you. Anyways,
I gotta get less fat.
Which the handler for that, I have 2 handler stories. The handler for that ended up telling us we had to stop talking so that we could leave because I was talking to him about DDP yoga, and he's like, hey, we got to get to the next person. Let's go, guys. And then I saw a handler with the Young Bucks, and I'm only using the word handler because this guy did. And I thought, this guy went up with his kid who had to have been 4 or 5, and he had the Young Bucks kids book.
Yeah.
And what they were doing was they were handing the item they wanted them to autograph to the handler, and the handler was giving it to the wrestler. The dad had something, and then he also had the book. And he was like, hey, can you guys sign this too? And they didn't care. They, just signed it. The handler pulled that guy aside with his kid and was like, hey, in the future, make sure you tell everything to the handler. You're making me look bad. You're yelling at someone for literally a 2-second thing and making everyone around you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. Let me take my job way too fucking
Yeah,
seriously.
exactly.
Off-topic handler story, just since we're talking about handlers. Rock and Shock, a number of years ago, I went through the line to meet Lance Henriksen. If you don't know who Lance Henriksen is, you're a bad person. He played Bishop in Aliens. He played, what was his name? Frank Black in Millennium / The X-Files. Legendary actor. Awesome. Anyways, so I went through his line. I got his book, and I got a photo, and he signed both of them. We chatted for a second, took a photo, and I walked away. So I had accidentally left other things that I had purchased at the convention on his table. Mm-hmm. And I hear someone shouting my name, and I'm like, what the fuck? I turn around, and there's this fucking, 65-year-old little old man, Lance Henriksen, running after me with my stuff. And his handler is in the background going, Lance, no, Lance, you have Lance, where are you going? And he personally brought me my stuff. He's like, hey, you forgot this on my table. And I thought that was the coolest interaction.
I don't want any of this
because he was just like you could see him taking photos with people who weren't even in line, just quickly taking a selfie, and you could see the vein on his handler's head just getting bigger and bigger, just Lance,
was
no.
he like, I don't want your leftover mac and cheese? Is that what it was?
It was just it was crazy. It's just what I thought of. Super nice guy. He signed the infamous photo from Aliens when he's Bishop, when he's torn in half after the end. He signed that photo to Ryan, help me. And I was like, all right, man, thanks.
That's pretty cool.
Nice dude.
Last thing I want to say about All In is I love the Penelope Ford spot. I love so much that it wasn't a forced spot, or at least it didn't feel that way. That they got her involved to showcase her because she wasn't in the women's match.
Dude, she's nuts.
And it went off well.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty crazy because 2 things about that match. One, she got when she did her whole, her Matrix backstand and stuff like that to avoid, she got this massive pop from the audience. And I'm sitting there going, we are so lucky because this is a spot we see all the time. No big deal, but we are so lucky that. So when they were doing all of the hardcore spots, I could just picture Penelope leaning against the guardrail, and the fans are going, "Oh my god!" And she goes, "This isn't even the craziest shit we've done this month.
Yeah,
this is nothing."
They were everywhere, and we kept running into them. And
because Jello was probably hammered,
kind of
just wandering around.
I kept seeing him having a cigarette or whatever. But they were at the after party, and
athlete.
They just kept saying, you could tell the people that have never seen him before, dude, how are you feeling? How, I was like, this
he's
is
like,
typical
what?
Joey.
That wasn't even that bad of a match.
You got
by
thrown off of the stage,
which he did not get as much airtime as he
because he only hit that one table, and I think the back of his head hit the second table. And he's just whatever. They're a month ago, I went through off the apron through a board wrapped in barbed wire to no mats, floor.
Starrcast 2, we were talking to Jordan for a little bit, and she was saying how they never gave anyone, any wrestler, any designated spot. So it was just up to them when they got there that day what table they could get to.
Just go over to a table and go, no one's here.
Yeah,
all right.
She was like, we didn't go Thursday, we were there Friday. And she's like, yeah, I was over there yesterday. They were just bouncing around.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. So I think that's it for me on All In. I'll probably think of something later.
What an outro. Thank you.
I might have said it last week. I think Adam Page has gotten so much better in the last year. Because you were at Best in the World in Lowell?
That was my first experience with Adam Page.
Yeah, and I was
the strap match with Kazarian?
All right, this guy's whatever. He's easily the worst person in the Bullet Club. And it's now it's
Chase Owens is the worst person.
Well, I mean
no, who's the other guy?
The American Bullet Club. The Americanized Bullet Club.
The Ring of Honor Club.
Yeah, the BTE Bullet Club.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly still do think he's the worst, but he's also in there with Kenny Omega and Cody and the Bucks and Marty Scurll. Like, so now it's not as
Poor
big.
Marty, by the way.
No.
Being the only Bullet Club member to lose.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That was a great match. He looked strong.
It was incredible.
But I loved his response to all the people who were blaming him for the main event.
Oh, yeah.
Where he said, dude, we were in the second marquee match. You think we were supposed to go 12 minutes? Are you fucking stupid?
Right.
Like,
and the Bucks told him, don't change it.
yeah, do whatever. The Bucks knew going into the semi-main, they knew they were going to go short.
Yeah.
They already knew.
And that's kind of on, like, you should have had Rey Mysterio right there ready to go.
Yeah.
There's no reason that his music had to play for 2 minutes before Rey Fenix ended up being the one to come out. And they threw the graphic up of it being Rey Mysterio and then immediately pulled it, which makes me think they were all supposed to get their own entrances.
Yeah.
And honestly, they still managed to put in 26 minutes of a main event into 12 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know
Like,
you
they
said...
spot.
I know you said you could hear the hot mic, and I could hear it too on the replay. I didn't realize how soon that hot mic was.
Take It
like,
Home
they still
was
had like
like
10 minutes left.
Yeah,
after.
Take It Home was in like the first like 5 minutes of the match.
Yeah.
You know, because they knew, and you could see the ref like talking
I actually
to them.
saw someone in the audience checking his watch. Like, he must have, I don't know if he heard it, like them talking to each other, but I saw him checking his watch, like looking how close it was.
Yeah, I watched the replay, and you know, you can check the time, and I was like, wow, there is 15 minutes left.
Yeah.
And that's not a lot.
I'm just used to them going over too, but I mean,
Right.
maybe in
Well,
hindsight, you don't do the regular pay-per-view thing.
That's the thing, is they were on cable pay-per-view, you know, and they also don't have the pull and the clout that WWE has to go, no, we're going late,
right,
you're gonna
right,
deal
'cause
with it.
You
Also-
think like UFC, they'll have, you know, a 6-hour pay-per-view.
Right.
Even though it only might last 2 hours.
Right.
Also, a weird thing that kind of bothered me, the doors opened at 4 Chicago time,
Yeah.
but the thing started at 6 Eastern time. So you only had an hour in between you being there and the thing starting. So the ticket said 6, but it wasn't Chicago 6, it was 6 Eastern.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
That's because our time is the correct time.
It's true, technically.
Right. So I ended up running over from the merch line to watch that whole entrance with the animal and everything, because we were still like standing in line. It took me over an hour in the first merch line.
Yeah.
I mean, and once again, kudos to them for doing what they did. They did a great job, but you could tell, like, I wasn't there, just watching it on television, I could tell how poorly planned out it was. And you know what? First time, but come on, Ring of Honor, you may not be used to 10,000 seat arenas, you might not be used to traditional pay-per-view. You've been running these types of shows for years. You should know how to fucking
It felt very
do
much
this.
like they delegated certain companies to do certain things and then just trusted them to do it,
Yeah.
which is fine.
And I'm sure
That's
like,
why I don't trust any motherfucker.
and I'm sure that, like, I feel bad for Cody. He goes out there, he wins the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. He gets backstage, no time to celebrate work. Like, you got to do it.
I take it back. My favorite all-in moment, I don't know if you guys heard this. They did the Lana chant, but for Cody. Did you guys hear that?
No.
Oh, there was like a whole segment, like after he was bleeding, where the whole crowd was just going, Cody is the best. Cody's number one. It was amazing. Which is great because I teach my kid's name is Adam, and I do Adam is the best, Adam's number one to him all the time. So I was like, this is so cool.
Speaking of Lana, did you see that she's pissed off about her 2K?
And then I saw, if you read the comments, she's actually worn that on like a WWE photo shoot type thing. Like, she's worn that exact
Yeah, but she's
outfit.
never wrestled in it.
No.
That's what she said.
Right.
I've never wrestled in that outfit, and I've never wrestled with short hair.
Right.
So 2K is clearly, they didn't scan her. They just said, fuck it, use last year's model and just, I don't know, change some shit.
I mean, it looks more like her, but still, like...
Maybe this year they'll let us actually change hair.
She also complains about everything.
Is that why she doesn't have an accent anymore? She complained about it too much and it went away.
I love that 3 weeks in a row we have complained about her accent disappearing.
It's the new Slapnuts / Judy Bagwell in a forklift match. No, but in general, to say it again, all in, that was fun. I enjoyed it.
This?
Nope, that's the actual picture they used. Her actual model in game.
Go to her Twitter.
Yeah,
I am on her Twitter.
it'll be there somewhere. She'll be
I think she quote tweeted it, so it's not going to show up as media.
yeah, you have to do tweets and replies. Yeah, you fuck. Learn how to tweet, jackass.
No, it was amazing. I'm definitely going to try to go to the second one.
This one?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm definitely going to try to go to the second one if
Well,
it's on the
here's the thing.
Chicago over.
People are wearing rose-colored glasses. They've got blinders on. It's Cody. It's the Bucks. It's the best thing ever. No, this show had a lot of issues, a ton of issues that people are just glossing over because it's much easier to shit on WWE and praise All In. I said this right after All In. I actually got a couple new followers off of it, so it worked out. And I remember last week, I quoted a new follower and I couldn't remember their name. Liz Manchester, one of our new followers.
Yeah, Liz Manchester.
So what up?
Well, she doesn't follow me.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Liz.
I don't think.
So at the end of the day after All In, there was this divide. All In rock, WWE sucks.
Which I hate.
WWE is
so
amazing.
much.
Fuck All In. It's like, everyone shut the fuck up and just enjoy things.
Which that wasn't even the statement of All In. The statement of All In was, there's wrestling for everybody. Like, we're making a statement that there's more than just this, and you can love everything.
I mean no disrespect. I don't give a fuck about a statement. I don't care. There shouldn't be a statement at all. At the end of the day, why can't we just let people enjoy whatever the fuck they want? Who cares?
Right.
I watch a little bit of everything. I don't have fucking time. I'm sorry. If you have time to watch WWE every week, New Japan every week, Ring of Honor every week, Impact every week,
You need to get yourself a job.
What are you doing?
Congratulations. That is awesome. I wish I could do it. I'm sorry, but
James is busy playing Spider-Man.
Who the fuck is James?
It's
Jert.
Jert, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God, whatever.
Yeah. Rebrands, motherfucker.
Start calling you by your real name.
I'm almost there.
so
I'm getting there. Actually, on the on the personal Twitter account, I finally put it in there as just look, this is
Mr. Trainer.
Mr. Trainer.
Mr. Trainer was my grandfather, who I didn't know, who also was an No, actually, no, it wasn't, because that was my grandmother's maiden name.
MT.
Yeah, I'm fucking pulling back the curtain a little bit.
My name is Scott.
What
Perkins.
the fuck?
It
I
always
wasn't
has
even
been.
moving.
You
Wouldn't be
leaned
an
right
episode.
into it.
I was here. Anyways, moving on.
Physics, dog.
Let's just shut the fuck up about WWE sucks. Oh, New Japan sucks. But I'm sorry, dude. If you like wrestling, just
They're all
respect
fine.
other wrestling
Right.
promotions. WWE is always going to be the best for production value. They're always going to be the best for those marquee matches. Undertaker, Triple H.
Undertaker, Shawn Michaels.
If please, I hope it happens. I'm actually gonna show the lady WrestleMania 25, and then I'm gonna show her obviously the best Undertaker match at WrestleMania, but then I'm gonna show Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, the most emotional WrestleMania match.
Dude,
in history.
I want them to do a Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels match just like that, but have Chris Jericho be way more dickish and just be like,
You just made
fuck you.
You just
said
made
that
the
last
list,
week, right?
I might have.
Codebreaker.
Yeah.
I think, I definitely agree with that.
That would be
Yep.
perfect.
What do you think?
I did a whole storyline where I just said CM Punk is an alcoholic. Codebreaker.
Yeah. What do you think that WWE's reaction was to Chris Jericho breaking his I won't work any US promotion other than WWE?
What promotion did he work?
All In.
It's
That
not a
was a
promotion,
show.
though.
Still technically he worked Ring of Honor. I don't care what anyone says.
Well,
that
he
was a
could
Ring
be
of
saying
Honor
he
show.
did it for New Japan.
That's true, because there were a lot of New Japan guys there.
And I
But
think
he,
Vince
There was
likes
no
it.
promotion.
but he said he wouldn't wrestle in the States.
Chris
He was
Jericho being in other shows and then coming back to WWE only helps WWE. You're getting
It's true.
new Chris Jericho followers, and then they're following him to WWE.
No, I'm sorry. If you are
You don't have new Chris Jericho followers.
Yeah,
we
well,
all are.
But true.
if you're discovering Chris Jericho because he attacked Kenny Omega at All In,
Where
you are
the fuck
officially
have you
not
been?
a wrestling
But
fan.
you know that there are probably people that do that.
who don't know who Chris Jericho is.
You know
what
that
are
there
they,
are probably
fucking 12?
Well, they might know who he is, but they might know who he is in the same way that I know who Bruno Sammartino is. But I've never watched a Bruno Sammartino match.
How the fuck have you never watched a Bruno Sammartino match?
I don't know. I just never have.
Yo, I got one to watch. It's a good one. It's a cage match from 1972.
I will definitely watch it. But you're gonna have younger audience members. You're gonna have people who
Ivan Volkov, I think, was in that match. I think it was the two of them in a cage.
nice.
It was a fucking sweet match. It was Madison Square Garden, 1972 or 73. It was awesome.
We
Anyways,
should go to an MSG house show.
I'm down for that.
Trash can?
shut up. No. Yeah.
We never let him talk.
So
I
Trash
told you,
Can,
I'm not.
have you
I'm
noticed,
not being positive
You keep
this week.
yelling at me.
Have you
about
noticed
trying
since
to
I
include
moved
him.
over here, my microphone hasn't got knocked over once? Yeah. That's why I said here.
You know who sucked? Tommy Collins. Where the fuck
Collins
is he?
didn't suck. I don't know. I haven't talked to him at all this week.
Well, remember how he was going to show up last week and then he overslept?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if he wants to watch football.
Yeah, you go fuck yourself in your football.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm texting Tom Collins.
All right.
I think that
I'm
you're
gonna
going
have
to
a
get
Tom Collins.
You're going to get people who are younger fans, whose parents only watch New Japan or whose parents only watch Ring of Honor. You're going to get.
I don't think we're at that generation yet. I don't think we are.
You have a lot of people that don't like WWE.
No. Yeah, hold on a second. How many wrestling fans, let's say in the age group of 18 to 35, how many wrestling fans did not start their journey with WWE? Tell me.
18 to 35?
Yeah.
Well, that's a different time era, though. We didn't have most of that. We didn't have anything
exactly.
else. Exactly.
And those are going to be the parents are even going to be older than that. There's no way they didn't start with WCW or WWF.
Right.
There's no possible way that you have these fucking, like baby boomer or millennial parents who are like, oh, well, I only watch New Japan. I've never seen WWE. There's no way you would have known about wrestling if you hadn't seen WWE.
True. But you will have friends. You will have boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. Who maybe
we're not
got
in that
introduced
generation
into
yet.
Wrestling
Give it
other
another
people.
10 years. I agree with you. There's no way we're at that point
I just
right
don't
now.
think he's out. I don't think he's a household name outside of WWE.
I think he is. I think because you got to think like this guy has been on TV shows. This guy does music. Like
But
Chris
do you think
Jericho,
if you ask people that don't watch wrestling, that
that
they would be able to name Chris
don't
Jericho?
watch wrestling.
Right.
Key word: don't.
Correct.
The people who don't watch wrestling don't watch New Japan.
Or you could have people that hang out with people who only watch New Japan.
Yeah, but I still don't think those people wouldn't know what New Japan was unless they're from Japan if they hadn't started watching wrestling with WWE.
I just want to say up front at this point, I agree with you. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I know. And
Okay, I was gonna say, I was like,
because I know
I wasn't saying
like-
anything, but I thought you were absolutely wrong.
like
Everybody in the
No.
world knows.
You
who
know
the
when you
fuck
say
Chris
an
Jericho
idea
is.
and then you're like, I'm just going with it. That's what I did.
yeah. And are you like doing like some weird like ritual with your phone? Are you trying to
No, I'm just
signal?
playing with this tripod that I threw earlier.
Beam me up, Scotty.
You guys should get better toys down here.
Name is Scotty. That was perfect. I didn't even do that on purpose.
Scotty doesn't know.
Yeah,
He hates that.
that's
It's
like
great.
the one thing I
hate Johnny.
Don't care for.
Scotty doesn't know.
Yeah.
Scotty doesn't know. Don't
So-
tell Scotty.
Anyway, that was Matt Damon who sang that, and I saw somebody on Facebook.
No, it wasn't Matt
just
Damon
like-
who sang.
it
It's
was
Matt
the
Damon
Dan
who
Band.
fucking.
Well, yeah. Did you say Lieutenant Dan?
No,
Band?
it's
the Dan
Band.
Band.
Oh, Lieutenant Dan Band's a real thing. Gary Sinise is in it. He plays
it really?
bass. Yeah.
That's funny. Does he
Yeah,
have legs?
he like raises money for disabled vets and stuff.
Does
So
the-
I mean that's pretty cool.
It's a good movie.
Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is one of the best. I'm sorry I got into a fight at your Black Panther party. Like fucking That's so good.
Jenny. God, that was she abused him so badly.
Oh my
emotionally.
god, she was
Jenny's
a hoe for
bitch.
show. Oh
Fuck
man.
Jenny. Anyways,
I got the coffees today. You're gonna have a fun time editing. You don't have to edit
get it,
anything
coffees.
out. I mean, you could
We had
probably edit
coffee.
out when I said his real name.
Fucking, you're a cock. You're a big old
wiener. I'm gonna stop
cock.
saying it because now I realize I'm just making more work for you. Sorry.
Anyways,
Trash can puts up with enough of our nonsense.
We should,
oh
we
god.
should record a trash can part where you can just use that where you need to edit
No,
things
no,
out.
no.
Like a
I was-
bleep button.
I was talking about our new intro
Well, we have
before the show.
Bell.
Yeah, we have the bell. You gotta use the
Yeah.
bell. I was talking about our new intro that we're gonna do. Spoiler alert: we're gonna have a new intro soon. And I said that it's gonna be a lot more produced. Yeah, no, he's gonna have to do a bunch of work to make that.
Are we
happen.
gonna have a new intro like I'm changing my Twitter handle?
No.
Oh, okay, it's actually gonna happen.
Yeah.
I've been threatening to change my Twitter handle since like day one.
Well, because you've got just this nonsense Twitter handle you've had since 1987.
Well, no, I've had it since like 2016.
Why are you lying then?
Because I was born in 1987.
I don't understand.
I've had the same one since 2009.
You fucking jackasses. Anyways, so
There is
yeah,
one thing I want to complain about WWE.
Yeah,
I
fuck 'em.
like WWE. I like everything. Michael Cole in the Mae Young Classic. I could do
Michael.
Oh yeah, Michael
Michael?
Cole in general. It's like put him in a different role backstage. Like he can be the new Jerry Briscoe.
He's
or
at that
something.
point in his career.
I mean, nobody
where
will be Jerry Briscoe.
You know,
but-
honestly,
What works about those network shows is they're not Raw and SmackDown. I don't want to watch the Mae Young Classic and feel like I'm watching the
Right.
mid card of Raw.
So here's it. At the end of the day, I do respect Michael Cole because when he is left to his own devices,
Yeah,
he
he's
can
not bad.
he can call wrestling.
I feel about him the same way you said you feel about Queen earlier. Off
You
the air.
respect him.
I respect him. I don't like what he does, but I understand what he brings to the table.
I'm in the same boat. Like,
Please don't ever compare Queen to Michael Cole.
Michael!
Ever the fucking
I was
guy.
comparing it to Jert's analysis of Queen.
Okay.
yeah. Anyways, like
Queen's fucking great.
I respect the dude. Like the dude does know what he's doing. He's also got Vince McMahon firmly up his ass.
Yep.
And
I like
Which
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
You're
He's just
giggling a
a
little
crazy billionaire. Like I love Vince McMahon. He's
Yep.
one of the most interesting people in the world
Yep.
to me, just because he's like so batshit crazy that he thinks what he does is normal and is just like
everyone
Did you
else is
see
fucked up.
The fake Nike meme that was going around of Vince McMahon.
No.
And it said sacrifice everything for something that you love or something like that. It was the XFL logo.
It's true. That's coming back next year
that is coming back.
or the year after.
I'll watch.
That Twitter.
I'll watch it.
That
I
Twitter
don't know.
scares me
I'm gonna.
because they're always like, "Hey, if you were going to change this about football, what would you change?" Like you can tell they're just taking
No rules.
requests from fans.
Hardcore.
Well, no, that's good.
Fucking blitz.
They're
I
like,
want
"Hey, if you were going to change the attire, what would you do?" And I said moon boots on every player.
wee.
Fucking no helmets, so then you could actually like tackle.
And you could have superstars.
It could have superstars.
I still say it should be like Mutant Football League.
It should be
NFL
like
Blitz.
5-on-5, like
No, it
hardcore
should be
rules.
rugby with forward passing.
I'm not opposed to that.
Because like that's how you eliminate head injuries is you get rid of helmets. Because then it's like you're not like that's cool. I got a helmet. I'll fucking smash him with it. No, then you're like,
Yep.
well, if I tackle this way, my head's gonna get fucking smashed too. So I'm probably not gonna do that. That's why like there is concussions in rugby. Like it does happen, but it's not like the NFL where it's like
Every game there's a
every
concussion.
game you just have dudes like flying in,
Right.
missile style with their head first. Like
That's what they should allow them to do in the XFL. They should allow you to pick up your other players. They should always have a small guy, and you can lawn dart them into other people.
they used to do that before the advent of the forward pass. When you could only have run plays, the running backs would have handles on their jerseys like sewn in, and they would fucking throw them over the offensive line.
Are you
Smart
serious?
move.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, and then
Is this like in the days
and then
of
like,
like
17 people died. Like
and
in
it
one
took
year,
17
and Teddy Roosevelt was like, "All right, hold the fuck on, like we gotta change some shit."
Is this in the
getting
days
nuts."
of those weird like leather skull cap
I
helmets?
think it was before that.
Damn.
Yeah, it was.
That's nuts.
And then they were like, "All right, we're gonna let you pass downfield and
All right.
open it up a bit."
No more football talk though. What we were about to talk about
was Pats and Texans at 1:00 Gillette Stadium.
whatever. No, we were talking
Everybody's
about
gonna hate us.
Michael Cole.
yes.
By God,
So like him doing his thing is just it's whatever to me, but I agree with you. Maybe moving him into a more executive role, maybe it's time because they've already started they've brought in a lot of younger guys and they've rotated through them trying to find, I think they're trying to find Michael's replacement. They brought in Byron Saxton, who sucks.
he's terrible. David
Cor-
Otunga sucks.
Corey Graves, great. Tom Phillips, though,
Tom Phillips is
awesome.
good,
I love him.
dude.
I think Byron doesn't suck. I think he doesn't have confidence. And the
He doesn't
fact
have
that everybody
charisma. That's the
hates
problem.
Byron is making Byron not want to talk.
Yeah.
Or when he does, he says stupid shit.
I didn't at first. I didn't like Moro.
Ronaldo.
Morinalo.
Mamma mia!
Yeah, I don't care for that. I didn't
Fuck
like.
yeah.
I didn't
And
like
his
the
pop culture references.
NXT team
Him,
commentary
Nigel,
team.
and
Percy Watson.
I like Percy a lot.
I'm starting to really come around on Percy Watson. I really like Nigel McGuinness and Moro. Like
You're getting there.
he's good at it. I just wish he would fucking like. And Ian Riccaboni did the same fucking thing at All In. It's like I don't need some nerdy ass white dude fucking stuffing hip hop references down my throat.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't understand them. They're not funny. And
You know
fucking
what?
stop.
You
I
know what was
understand
really
them, and they seem
unfunny?
forced.
You know what was really
They-
funny?
right. That's all I know about them is they seem
At
forced.
All In, what I thought was extremely, haha funny, and this is complete sarcasm, is the multiple references to kayfabe that he made.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're breaking kayfabe's a lot.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Like, you're not funny. You're acting like these dumbass Smart Mark fans who think that they know everything, and it's like, dude, just fucking like wrestling. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry.
I like wrestling.
I also like that they
Like, talking amongst yourselves, like you and your buddies are hanging out talking about the insider stuff is like one thing. But like thinking that you're better than someone else because, you know, you're like, oh, I think kayfabe should still be right. It's 2018. There's fucking Twitter and shit. Kayfabe's dead.
Did it
Get
feel
over
like
it.
he was talking down to Excalibur to you guys?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm glad I'm not the
Excalibur
only
was
one.
the probably highlight of that commentary team. I like Don Callis a lot. Excalibur did a great job.
Yeah, Excalibur did. Cyrus the Virus.
To Neil Dashwood when they brought her out with that other girl who I can't think of her name right now. And the other girl just didn't
What's her
talk
dick?
the
Fine.
entire time.
Yeah.
I don't know why they brought two people out there. And then the other girl was like, thank you for having us. And I was like, you didn't say anything. Neil didn't stop talking.
It's because she's from Australia.
The other girl's
Mate.
from Australia too, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She also,
Done
Tennille hosted the after party. But she basically
Did it just play the Emma theme song
she
over
just
and
drank
over and
water
over
and
again?
talked about how she liked Downstate.
Remember her dance?
And the lead singer of Downstate kind of looks like a poor man's version of Roman and Tamatonga put together.
Ooh, ah.
He was really charismatic though. I'm not taking it away. Just looked
Anyways,
like
Unlike Roman.
the guy that does all the yelling at Downstate is like a stick. He's like this nerdy little redhead,
Well,
and
it's
then you
like
have this jacked lead
it's
singer.
like Brandon Smalls from fucking Metalocalypse, Death Clock.
Yes.
He's this.
Yep.
He's like 5'4", and he probably weighs 98 pounds, and he just lets out this booming metal scream, and I'm like, God damn.
Have
dude.
you ever seen his show Home Movies?
Yeah.
Home Movies is
it was
so
great.
I've ever seen
fucking
that.
good.
That's
Coach
where
McGurk.
Yeah, that's where Patrick Warburton and
I know who
Sean
that is.
Benjamin got their starts.
And who both those people? Worcester's own.
Yep.
Yeah,
He hates
both
Worcester.
of them actually.
Are they really?
Warburton is from. He's from around here somewhere.
Yeah, Benjamin is from Worcester,
Yeah.
and he hates Worcester. But he was Coach McGurk. He was the soccer coach who was just like
He's
a
also
total
Bob.
dirtbag.
I mean, most importantly, he's the vegetable can in How I Met Your Mother. Not How I Met Your Mother, in Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah. Anyways, back to Morrow real quick. The thing that I like about Morrow, and this is something that carries over from classic WWF commentary with JR, is actually having an understanding of the maneuvers that are being
Yes.
done. And that's a thing with the main roster that I don't like. They're like, oh, he kicked him.
What a maneuver.
Yeah. It's like,
Well, that was always Vince's thing. Vince never...
he doesn't like...
He never
he
called-
wants to dumb it down for the fans.
Yeah, he was never like, oh, he did a shooting star press. What a neat flip off the
But
top.
all you're doing is you're doing a disservice to your fans because you're not teaching them
Yeah.
the history and the classic names for these professional wrestling moves. So you're dumbing your fan base, and maybe that's by design so they don't realize what kind of nonsense they're watching sometimes.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't think it's professional wrestling.
right.
Yeah,
It's
but like
entertainment.
Right.
the fact that, you know, like I've had a lot of people like in my personal not like, you know, outside of like wrestling Twitter and stuff like that, but like in my personal life, like friends and family members who watch
Like where your real name is...
yeah. who watch NXT, and they're like, why did Morrow say tope suicida? And I'm like, it's Spanish for suicide dive.
Yeah.
And that's the actual name of the maneuver, you know. Or I had someone ask me what an enziguri was because they're so used to step up kick.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's not a step up kick. It's
Yeah.
a fucking either
This isn't
stepping
2K18.
enziguri or an enziguri.
Yeah.
Like those are the two names for that maneuver. Step up is when you step off their knee and do it,
Yeah.
or you just do it. Like,
Or you just kick them in the face.
Stephen
on
Amell
him.
had a good enziguri.
Dude,
No, he did.
he's... Like, good for him, man.
He could retire and do it, and
No.
I would be okay with it.
he's already got the physique for it. He obviously loves wrestling because
Yeah.
you don't. The way I look at it is, a lot of celebrities or non-wrestlers have done wrestling matches,
Snooki.
but
Michael Cole.
you don't take that bump if you don't love wrestling, because you know he was like, hey Cody, I really want to take like a crazy table bump.
Right.
And Cody's probably like, I don't know if that's safe, man. But yeah, I guess so. Because I'm sorry, but I don't care who you are. If you have been wrestling for 15 years or 15 days, that bump is going to hurt.
Right.
Really.
And it's dangerous.
And was
as
this
fuck.
really bad.
his second or third match?
His third match.
Third match.
His first singles.
WWE,
Right.
he did SummerSlam, then he did Ring of Honor.
I didn't see that.
They were both tag matches, and this was his first singles match. How awesome. I don't know if you could, obviously I don't know if you could tell when you were there live, but how awesome is the fact that the opponent of the Green Arrow had the fucking Hawkeye on his
replay.
knee
Yeah,
pad?
so
Yep.
good.
Fucking Christopher Daniels. Since day one in TNA that I saw Christopher Daniels, I have loved him.
I mean, let's be honest. Hawkeye is better than Green Arrow. But
well, yeah, because I don't know, Marvel's better anyways.
Yeah, Marvel is 1,000 times.
All right,
Batman could
next
join the
week on the
Avengers.
Blade Job, we are comic book only.
I'm cool with that.
I was thinking of going to that right after this anyway.
I'm
That's
thinking
dangerous.
about
I haven't been there in years.
Yeah.
smoking butts and playing Spider-Man.
I
Probably won't. I'm gonna watch Iron Fist all day. So
Oh, did that come out?
season 2 came out finally.
Danny
Side
Rand in
note-
that show is kind of a bitch.
I
But
love
leave
that
him alone.
in Spider-Man they have all those little like
Yeah, Rand
they
Industries, all
have
that
like
shit. Yeah,
Jessica Jones's like
Yeah.
law firm and everything.
Alias Investigations. She's not.
You mentioned Snooki. Did you see Joey Ryan's tweet about the all-in moment?
No.
When someone was like, Joey Ryan just had the first ever all-in moment, and someone like was like, it's not as good as a WrestleMania moment. And he's like, Snooki had a WrestleMania moment.
I love Joey Ryan.
Yeah.
Snooki has as many WrestleMania wins as Triple H. Triple H has been on the last 45 of them, but he only has one win.
Well, I mean, the
He's
beginning-
the anti-Mr. WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Well, because and
I mean,
that's the
Michael's
thing.
lost a lot.
Triple H has had this amazing career. He's won title after title after title. The guy, but even though I've heard he has a bit of an ego, especially back then, he had a bit of an ego to him.
I'm sure back then he did.
Yeah, now,
I
but
don't
for the
think
for
so
the
as
past
much now.
10 years, he's all about putting people over.
Yeah.
He's the new Chris Jericho. Because that's what I've always respected about Chris Jericho. He had his run at the top. Now he brings in young people and he lets them go.
If
over.
Chris Jericho had another run at the top, it'd be like, oh, okay. And I could also see Triple H being Universal Champion.
But at
Be
the end
like,
of the
oh,
day,
okay,
when
yeah.
they drop that title, that's going to be to get someone way over.
Right.
Didn't he just have it recently?
Who?
Triple H a couple years
3
ago?
years ago, 4 years ago.
Universal title?
No,
Yeah.
he held
Oh,
the WWE
the
Championship.
WWE,
He
yeah.
won it in the Rumble or whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
he won it, but it wasn't like I'm the boss, I can win it. It made
It was
sense.
for storyline,
Yeah.
and it worked out. As much as it was kind of like, I don't know where you're going with this at the time.
Yeah.
the payoff worked out.
Yeah.
So, at
No,
the end of the day,
I enjoy watching Triple H wrestle.
even at 46,
Him and Cena
47,
at the Saudi Arabia there.
yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
That was a good match.
It was a Cena and Triple H match. It was, if you wrote down the bullet points of a Cena match and the bullet points of a Triple H match, that was the match we got. That's not saying it was great. It's not saying it was bad. It was a Cena and Triple H match.
The inverted atomic drop, the 5-knuckle shuffle,
Yeah.
the pedigree.
It's the same thing I
That,
expect with Undertaker and Triple H at Showdown Under, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yep.
I expect a little bit more because there's a very good chance this is Undertaker's second to last match. Because I feel if they're doing this one in October, Mania comes around next year, Undertaker's done. One more. It's all I see is that's going to be this build-up. And that's why I firmly believe the Shawn Michaels return rumors could be true, because how do you end the Undertaker's career against Shawn
with
Michaels?
some sweet
Yeah.
fucking chin music.
Yeah,
See,
you end
that's a worthy opponent.
The biggest WrestleMania draw, you end him with Mr. WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, that's how I see
Plus,
Undertaker
you don't want him
go
to
now.
go the route of the wrestler and die in the ring, if that's how you take the end of that movie.
That's true. That is true.
Because that's what we're getting at.
Yeah, he's getting up there. But he looked really, he's looking really good, right? He looks old as shit, but he's looking good right
he's
now.
doing a 10-minute squash match. Yeah, he looks great.
But
Yeah, he beat up Rusev. That was awesome.
we'll see how he fares next month against Triple H. We'll see how he's moving, see how everything. We'll see his 30-minute entrance between the two of them,
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Wait, I gotta plug some stuff.
Plugging shit. Oh god.
So myself and my 8-year-old daughter, we're gonna be on this week's episode of the MGB Wrestling Podcast.
I like how we just waited to the end when everyone stopped listening already.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. So that'll be cool. So I actually have to watch Raw and SmackDown this week. 2 things I haven't done in 6 months or so. And then, is it all of us?
I'm curious to see which one you like more.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm there.
Are we all doing Mad Attack?
I don't know.
think I am.
No, screw you. No,
You are?
Yeah, it's you, me, and RJ.
And Trash Can, I need you on every one of those predictions.
I don't get it.
That sound will translate well across the Atlantic Ocean. And then people will say, what the fuck
I don't
is
get
this?
it.
Don't worry about it. You don't have to get it.
I never understand anything.
Okay, that's cool. So yeah, Mad Attack UK will be myself, RJ, and Jert.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be there.
And that'll be cool. We're going to predict who we think is going to win Heck in a Cell. And then Phelan and I will do MGB, and that'll be dope.
Reverse that.
Well,
You're from a different one yet.
what?
Missy Elliott. He said reverse that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I shouldn't say Phelan. I should say Princess Rainbow Sparks. I think that's her gimmick now.
Well, you gotta
don't know
what
your
her
own daughter's
gimmick is
gimmick?
before her entrance.
Well, no, because she keeps changing it.
Because she's fucking 8.
She was Rainbow Sparks, the sassy lady, and then she was some sort of cowgirl, and I thought that was fucking stupid.
It's also inappropriate.
And then I don't know. She keeps changing gimmicks, but she keeps kind of going back to Rainbow Sparks. So
I'm proud of you for being a non-millennial parent and saying that you thought something she said was stupid.
oh, she says plenty of stupid things.
Because she's 8.
You're right. She's 8.
She
Tons of what comes out of her
Yeah.
mouth is fucking stupid.
Inherently, she's dumb because she's only 8.
No, she's way smarter than me.
I doubt that. She's
I know more, but she's
Exactly.
way smarter.
Well, that's,
Should we move
that's
the
nothing
mics,
to do.
Trash Can? Is there going to be a fight?
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, folks.
I gotta piss.